Hello everyone, welcome to Lockdown Sees the World. Today we talk about the Chinese United and First Reviewed, and salute to the Floridians who protested and attended the hearing. On April 19th, Wednesday, 2023, at Tallahassee, the capital of Florida, the House State Affairs Committee conducted a hearing on HB 1355. That's a prohibition on Chinese purchase of real property. In the morning of the day, and all the Chinese from different cities of Florida paraded in front of state Congress and protested with no HB 1355, no SB 264, no discrimination. Florida is our home, expressing their wish for the same rights of purchasing real estate to all. This parade was initiated by OCPA, the Orlando Chinese Professionals Association, together with the Chinese Association in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Tampa, South Florida, CASE, the Chinese Association in Science, Economy, and Culture, Florida Chinese Enterprise Chamber of Commerce. It's a South Florida General Hometown Association, North American Economic Herald, the media group. It's a Trier Coast Chinese Association, Voice of Chinese American. That's a Huagan Chinese School in Gainesville, a Hubei Association, and the Shandong Association in Florida. That's all rallied in parade against HB 1355. At the evening of April 18th, the Orlando Chinese set off to the hearing by bus. Both SB 264 and HB 1355 will do harm not only to Florida American Chinese and also to the Asian community. The bills were initiated for protection of Florida's agricultural land and U.S. national security. Yet its Section 7 would cause collateral damages, which make that all Chinese, whether immigrants with green cards or naturally born here, is under unreasonable suspect for potential threat to America, just because they came from China or as a Chinese. And the bills might increase possible violence and public or cover discrimination, the racial hatred, and crime to Asian races. It's negative collateral damages to future generation of Asian race immigrants. The hearing was scheduled from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and totally 5 hours. First with the issue of voting registration, and finally with power and water utility issues. About banning Chinese purchases of real property, it started from 10:30 to 12:30. About 2 hours, 106 witnesses were on the list, yet actually 79 presented, and each one was allocated for 30 seconds or half a minute for their statement. Here is a brief for the speeches and their opinions. The first speaker is Angela. She said, "I was given 30 seconds. It's fine, only 10 seconds is good enough for me." She requested all those who agreed with her to stand up and say no to the bill, which made the committee chair a little bit nervous and called for sergeants for maintaining order. A second speaker, sounds like named Bian, she called for same respect to any human being. The third one is Rogers, Jewish. And he mentioned Jewish history and his experience against discrimination. Number 4 is Candy, an international school teacher. She said that the bill's definition is too broad. Number 5 is Xu Chen, a real estate broker. He talked about there might be risk for future house selling. Number 6, Tony Chen, is a girl of 8 years old. She said, "What's wrong with Chinese? Why Florida government treat Chinese people this way?" Number 7 is an estate broker. He doubted why nationality should be issued in buying a house. Number 8, the lady said the innocent and ordinary Chinese will not be a danger to U.S. national security. They should be treated equally. It's number 9, the David Chen, 9 years old in grade 4, born in Orlando. He said discrimination is a bad law. And number 10 is a double, is speaker's name, and the major in computer science. She said she was seriously hurt when a stranger American yelled to her to go back to China during the pandemic. Number 11 speaker is with EB-5 visa, and he said this bill will greatly hurt the future investment in Florida. Number 12, named Chen, a local estate broker. He's also mentioned the negative consequences to Florida economy. Number 13 is Michael Dai, or H-1B visa. He said we cannot always put a green card on our face. Number 14 is a foreign speaker, he believed discrimination policy is no good. Number 15, named Daniel, might be from Venezuela. He's blamed the discrimination policy today to China, tomorrow might be to another country. Number 16 is a faculty from Florida University, and he said the bill is an analog to Hitler's policy to the Jews in World War II, with the sign of the Star of David as a stigma. Number 17, Grace from Orlando, and she said Florida is our home. Number 18, a veteran soldier and hurt in a hearing. He said a bill is in violation of the federal law. Number 19 is this is a mom with 2 children. She worries the Chinese might be the victim of future attack. Number 20, speaker says not every Chinese is CCP, just like not every Italian are mafia. 21 is also from Italy. He said that the ordinary Chinese should be separated from their government. 22, the lady said that everyone deserved his or her proper rights. Frank Guan, Taoist priest, he said that discrimination is not necessary and no hatred is needed in Florida. 24 speaker is Hu, Bai Juhe. On an enterprise owner, she said the bill reminded her of the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882. 25 is Eric Han. The boy warns that not only Chinese but also everyone might be hurt by this bill. It's not right to discriminate the specific group of people. 26 is Yimei, EB-5 visa. She asked why America hates Chinese, and there will be no more house for her to sell. 27 is An Hong. She said, whenever to sell a house, a clause or affidavit must be signed with I am not Chinese, which is just a rule of discrimination. 28 is Joyce from Shanghai. And she said this bill really makes us hurt. 29 is Echo King. She said the bill intended for national security, but it is too broad defined. Yes, 30 is a faculty from University of Florida. And he said the bill is a barrier for a specific group of people. 39, PhD student. He said no more overseas talents would choose Florida as the place to study. 32, that's H-1B visa. She said he plans to buy a house in Florida. Now it turned to be an issue. 33, the lady says CCP is not all Chinese. It should be separated from their American dream. 34, as Lu, she said she experienced being yelled to go back China and she might consider to move other states if the bill passed. 35 is Sharon, and she drove 4 hours for this hearing. She said most Chinese buy a house just for the education of their children. 36, the boy said he liked to be a good citizen and do something for the country, yet the discrimination is nothing good. 37, the speaker said in Second World War, American Japanese were mistreated. But if China and America have something happen, and then the American Chinese might suffer the same. 38 is Ashley Lu. She said the future opportunities for Chinese youth generation might be greatly hurt. 39 is a college teacher on finance H-1B visa. She hopes more people can realize their American dream. The speaker 40 is a broker. She said this bill will have negative impact to foreign investment in Florida. 41 is Victoria Lee. She said that discrimination make people worried and scared. American dream might be no more. 42, the Helen Ming. She was a banker on Wall Street and now has a farm, a shrimp farm. She planned to sell the farm to a Chinese for technical update. Now it became a tough issue. 43, that's an American retired officer. He said the bill's definition was too broad. 44, named Uma. He expressed no discrimination. 45, the lady said it is wrong to single out Chinese, while only Chinese could not buy the real property in Florida. 46, the discrimination is not supposed that something happened in a free and democratic America. Now Americans don't believe the Chinese. 47 is a gentleman said that the bill will have bad impact to my family and my children. The 48th speaker, and the speaker was a humorist. He said, I used to tell my wife that how good everything in America, but as to this bill, I cannot explain to my wife. Can anyone help me for this issue? 49 is Susan, working in finance investment. She said that every year before about 20 million US dollars could be input to Florida economy. Yet later might be no more. The 50s, as she said, is very harmful to Chinese. 51, Chen, a journalist of North America Economy Herald. She said she just came here not for herself, but for everyone else. 52 is Xia Yan, who works at a child care center. It's a mother of 3 children. She worries the Chinese children might be a victim of violence later. 53, a speaker says Chinese people contributed for 10 billion US dollars every year. Why Chinese still treated this way? And 54 is Shen Hongchen, a Christian who has been in America for 26 years. He said Chinese people came to America for freedom rather than for discrimination. 55 is a high school student. He hopes America will always be the home. 56, and he said all foreign immigrants had done great contributions to American business, and Chinese government and ordinary Chinese people are not the same. 57, that's Chen Yang. She said he flew to America more than 20 years ago, and she left the CCP now, and she was regarded as a CCP. And 58, Ming, who lived in Tallahassee. He said both American Chinese and Americans that hope a better future for America, but only the bill does not serve the purpose. 59 is he said that the bill might be with good intention, yet it's reckless. That he came to America as a student after the June 1st incident, 1989. But he said the bill reminds people how Nazi Germany treated the Jews in concentration camp and with the badge of the David Star. 60 is Allison, 3 years old, and she said her mom was afraid of the bill, so she opposed. 61 is majored in computer science. He said, respect for everyone's freedom is the value of America, yet the bill was unfair. 62, she said, the bill made her seriously hurt that God created everyone equal. Nothing wrong I did. That why can't I be treated equally? Florida is my home. 63 is Wei Zhou, the H-1B visa. And he said, federal law on housing requires everybody to be equal. 64, and Yuki, who came to America at the age of 14, she said, we love Florida. 65, Wesley Wu. He said he had been in Florida for 15 years. Not every Chinese is a spy. 66, Wendy Wu. She said the discrimination to Asian race reminds her that Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream. 67, it's a 14-year-old high school student whose family owns a real estate business, and some employees might lose their jobs later. 68, that Jimmy Zhu. He said, don't take our rights away. 69, a student in Tallahassee, she said, in long run, Chinese younger generation will be impacted negatively. 70, Biao. And he said, CCP is different from common Chinese people. The bill went to a wrong way, and it let Chinese people know that America hates them. 71, she said, don't take us as a shield, and thank for our voice be heard. 72, then major in engineering, and he said the bill was like the U.S. mistreatment to American Japanese in Second World War. 73, that's Jia Shi. She said something wrong with us. 74, and Zheng Tong. He said his wife is a nurse, and he opposes to discrimination. 75, a speaker said the bill is the same as how American Japanese mistreated in Second World War. 76, he said that being hostile to foreign investment will hurt Florida economy. 77, he said that history of discrimination cannot be back. 78, and whose wife is a nurse, he sometimes worries might be future unemployment. 79, there's an American who said there are 50 EB5 centers in Florida. Investment will be hurt greatly. After hearing a few representatives express their rejection to the bill, or at least modification to Section 7 needed, even with a good intent, collateral damages might be possible. The majority of representatives still support the bill, and among the 21 votes with 4 against it, 1 missing, and 16 say yes, and the bill passed. But the good part is that the voice of the Chinese rejection was heard, and with their attitude and position, and no more as a silent lamb. Chinese in Florida will continue to fight for their rights, and accordingly there will be 5 more opportunities to amend or abolish it. First one is a vote in Florida House. The second is the governor had to sign. The third, federal court. First is Florida State Court. And 5 is lobbying for next session of Congress to overturn. This will be a long run for protest. Take the right way and the legal method for your proper rights. Salute once more to all those who joined in the parade and in the hearing. Above is today's program, and thank you for your watching, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.